Welcome everyone, Jokan is here. Finally ending my Digimon Field Guide Ramble series thingy going on. I'll be doing the Mega Plus Digimon, finally, which is a rather small club, so this should be dealt with pretty quickly. Starting with Alphamon Oryuken from Pendulum X Free. This is just Alphamon floating around with an extra pair of wings and a weapon which is made out of Oryumon. Got the same, the spear tip becomes the butt spike, I suppose. These are, I think they're supposed to be Oryumon's wings that become these blades. The wings are a new thing, I think. I think you see the tips of them. No, you know you don't. On Alphamon, the original, no. Besides, it's just Alphamon with some extra bells and whistles. I think it's decent, a decent addition, but nothing super amazing, considering it's a, a DNA Digivolution. But it's fine, I think. Craniummon plus Embarmon. Embarmon looked like a rather small Digimon the first time I saw it, but here he seems to have been upsized a bit so that he can have Craniumon riding on top of him. But besides that, it's just one Digimon mounted on top of another. There's not much to comment here, other than besides the fact that Embarmon is very Craniumon themed, so he fits rather well. I like it. Imperial Dramon, Allen mode from the fourth movie, The Revenge of Diabramon. Much, mostly recolored version of fighter mode, with the very high emphasis on white helmet, white armor, even the wings are white. And of course, the addition of the Omni Blade, a sword made out of Omnimon. You can see the purple of the Omnimon here, and some Digimoji written on it. I like the crossguard, the spikes on it. Look, they're pretty cool. But besides that, yeah, not much to say. It's pretty cool. Speaking of Omnimon, Omnimon from movie 2, where Diabramon originally came from as well. Although, now that I see, it seems that here they turned those purple markings into blue ones. Maybe they were always blue? I'm not sure. Either way, he's got a simple white body with some arms based on his DNA components of the Wargreymon with the sword arm and the Garurumon, Metal Garurumon with the cannon arm. Different shoulder pieces. He's got the shield here and the spikes on the other. The crests of friendship and courage have been mixed and joined, half and half, on his chest. The helmet looks pretty cool, like the horns as well, and he's got a nice cape, white and red. Yeah, I quite like this guy, and I like retractable weapons. That is also a pretty cool feature. A bit of a shame that you cannot see everything about his design. Besides, perhaps that the Supreme Cannon at points kind of looks like it's a bit oversized, but like, how does it fit inside? But then again, how does the Transcendent Sword fit inside? It's the arm is clearly not long enough. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just it's digital magic. You don't have to think hard about it. Omnimon Svart from I think he debuted in the Digimon Crossloader, I believe. He's a black version of Omnimon. Really black. He loses a bit of that color variety for a more consistent color scheme. Another difference I noted is that the Crest of Courage has been modified on the shield a bit. The gold spikes are actually a different color from the rest of the shoulder piece here, which is pretty cool actually. It was all one solid color here. And there's been a reversal of the gold. The gold horns have become black and the white horn became gold. And the last big difference is that the crest of courage and friendship fusion has been removed in favor of just a simple circle. I do quite like how reflective the black armor is, so I want to say he's pretty cool as well, just like Omni. You know. Also, it's nice that you can mode change between the two. You know, it's neat because that's how I'm pretty sure he is in the lore, right? Like he's just an Omnimon that got modified by the there it is, the Black Digitron. But of course, you have two ways of getting him, so that's pretty cool. Chaosmon from Digimon Axel, Justice Genome, and Evil Genome as well. He was in all digital Axel versions, but those two were the first ones that they were released simultaneously. He's an Omnimon like, but he's a bit more clothed. Like he has clothing on top of him, right? He's got not quite boots because he has exposed feet, but they're cloth. There's cloth around the legs. He's got a coat, white and black, pretty neat, with some gold and silver, I suppose. Pink gems, pink ends to his horns, rather flat-looking horns. The chest is both red and blue, matching the shoulders, which are his Digicores. A Digimon is supposed to only have one of them, but Chaosmon has two because he's an improper fusion. Unlike Omnimon, his sword is exposed, and his cannon is technically just the Dark Dramon head. What else? What else? The Bancho Leomon head is a bit creepy because it still looks very organic. It's still got the hair, still seems to have fur. The eyes are shiny, which is a bit weird considering that Omnimon didn't have any sort of shiny eyes on his arms, so there's something a bit unsettling. Also, he's got nice sashes as well here. I think it looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, and he's got two eyes, but one of them is a very light gray that is almost invisible, but it's there. I quite like this guy, maybe even more than Omnimon. Also, look at that elemental profile. What is this? Not a single neutral element. That's how unstable he is. Chaosmon Baldur Arm. Debuting in Digimon Collectors, I believe. Since his Dark Dramon arm has been replaced with a Valdurmon arm, there's been some changes. The two cores match the same color, so his chest is all blue. The color of the eyes has been inverted. The black part of the coat became blue. His sashes and at both the shoulders and from the head have grown wings. This arm is still the same, but is it? Yes. But this one has now Valdurmon's head, including the head wings. Though, much like Pancho Leomon, this arm has eyes, and it looks freaky a bit, I'd say. Like, there's something still living in there. And of course, incredibly... Oh, it's reversed. It's literally the reverse elemental profile. That's pretty funny. That's cool. But yeah, I think creating this alternate version with this amount of changes does help elevate him a bit. He's not just a Chaosmon, but you took one arm off and put another. There's a little bit of thought. Just it makes you wonder how many Chaosmons you could make. Because remember, the Chaosmon in those virtual pets could be made with any combination of Bancholeomon, Valdurmon, Dartramon, and Kentaurusmon. I wonder if there was a fusion between Valdurmon and Dartramon. Would he have double cannons? Would this be the Dartramon arm, and instead of a sword, it's a spear? That's food for thought. Quite like him. Grace Novamon, debuting in the Digital Monster version 20th anniversary. The fusion of Dianamon and Apollomon. He's has a new galaxy born from within him, which is a bit of a bother because I barely see any of the cosmic stuff. It's just energy balls. That's odd. He's got some flaming hair. That's pretty cool. He's got some sharp shoulders like some sharp blades coming out of his shoulder plates. Big arm plate, big fingers. He has sword feet, though. That's a bit. I quite like the knee blades. At least they kind of fit, sort of. But he's also got a bunch of these mystical blue blades, though they have some digital elements. Well, they're Digimon, but like seems to be made to match the digital vibe, I think, rather than the cosmic vibe. And there's a lot of bandages, sashes. I'm not sure what this would be, tying him together because he's just a cosmic body with armor, which is actually a pretty neat idea. And actually, the cape looks pretty amazing. Like, never mind, he does have quite a lot of cosmic going around with the cape. The cape helps a lot, actually. You can see stars. If you move around, you can reveal and hide the bigger stars. The head looks cool as well. I like the head. There's a bit of a bunny ears, sort of reminiscent of Dianamon, but there's not much of that Alphamon, not Alphamon, Apollomon side. Unfortunately, no lion reference. And to be honest, these probably aren't rabbit references anyway, but they kind of look like it. I think I think I like him. Yeah, I like him. He's pretty cool. He just has the problem of sword feet. It's a bit of a. Oh, he's got the moon here. That's pretty cool. Where's the sun? Sun symbols. There's a lot of spheres. I guess those would be the sun symbols, maybe. But yeah, pretty cool. Shine Greymon Burst Mode from Savers. He's very similar to Shine Greymon. Even his color scheme is mostly similar, though most of the yellow is gone. Actually, all yellow is gone, so it's just the red and the white. Got rid of the knee spikes, which I found a bit of an awkward choice for Shine Greymon, so that's pretty cool. The tail now has a flame. He has wings of flame. He also creates swords and shields made of flames. Pretty cool, like him. I kind of miss the yellow, though. I do miss the yellow, so I'm not sure if I would say this is a complete upgrade over the default Shine Greymon, but yeah, I like him. Susanomon from Frontier. A fusion of Emperor Greymon and Magna Garurumon. You can see both of their heads, but most of his body is made out of pieces of the both of them. Like the legs are from Magna Garurumon. The chest is clearly, yep, Emperor Greymon's. The shoulder pieces, these golden ones, are from the Emperor Greymon's back. There's the sashes, there's the rings. You can the ring is made of Magna Garurumon. It's on his cannon, and his sashes are from Magna Garurumon as well. I quite like the head. I think the head's a pretty cool design, and it's a cool way of doing something that's Omnimon-like, but a bit different still. I like the markings. Well, just one marking, really. Although, yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those designs that it's literally taking two other designs and taking them apart and mixing them back together Lego style, which is a bit. But I think for what it is, Susanomon fits well. I think it looks pretty cool. Jupitermon Wrath Mode from Digimon Crusader. I think I might prefer the original Jupitermon a bit better. The horns and wings are fine. He's got lightning bolt feet that are teetering very close to being sword feet again. He's got a body made out of lightning and stuff, but it looks very solid with very few effects. And yes, Metamon's body is solid with flame effects, same with Birdramon, but they mesh better together than this. His dumbbells have turned into his shoulders and arms. He's got a massive sword, but yeah, I think I don't like this one very much. I think I prefer the original Jupitermon. He's got a cape of lightning. That's cool, at least. Yeah, not my favorite. Ravemon Burst Mode. We lost the true wing. We now have two fake wings. Very sharp wings. Actually, we lost the hands as well, unless you count these as hands, but it's weird. Also, very similar blades, wing blades at the legs. I think this is another one where I prefer the previous form, though the head looks cool. The black helmet looks pretty cool. Maybe taking a quick look. Yeah, I think I preferred this design. I think that design had some pretty cool asymmetry, and this one is a bit more symmetrical, but it's fine. It's cool. This saves money. It's pretty cool, but I preferred Greymon. Examon, the final form of Dracomon through DNA Digivolution. This, I guess this does mean he's a 10th anniversary Digimon as well. He's got some scales, much like his previous evolutions. He's got a big cannon, massive wings. The cannon actually doubles as a spear, if I'm not wrong. Got some pretty cool horns, tipped with gold. The chest looks pretty cool. Wings look made out of silver from the back. That's nice. I think I like him a lot. Although I do have a bit of a, not really an issue, because let's be honest, I don't think they could have done anything else with this guy. I'm pretty sure these guys' wings are supposed to be bigger than that. The problem is that if you make the wings as big as the official artwork, it would look a very awkward design in the game. And perhaps this is the best solution they could come up with. Shrink the wings a bit, or maybe they're just not fully, displayed out. Maybe that's what's happening here, because these guys' wings are meant to be really massive. He's already supposed to have a big body, but he's a Digimon that in the official artwork, if I'm not wrong, is dwarfed by his own wings. So yeah, he's still great. Especially since he's flying and has the lance thing. It's still pretty good. Mirage Gagamon Burst Mode from Savers, of course. This is one of the few that I think perhaps might be better than the original, but losing out the claws is a bit of a bother. Though I guess the weapon does compensate. Oh, I never noticed the Crescent Scythe is not attached to the bar. That's interesting. I thought it would have been. Interesting. I knew this already was an energy attachment, so this is fine. The Morning Star's fine. The shoulders leaking out energy are pretty cool. He's got some nice hair here. This belt here, I'm not sure it really does anything. I guess you could say it's reminiscent of a tail, but armor looks pretty good. Although perhaps, much like Shine Greymon, the color scheme is a bit similar. Although I think Mirage Gagamon doesn't really lose a lot of color. He does lose the red of the cape, but this one already is pretty similar to the original. Right? Yeah, just got a bigger horn. Actually, just a horn at all. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Still got that digital hazard sign on him that I'm not sure he's supposed to have. Well, maybe he is by design, but is he supposed to be digital hazard? I don't know. Rosemon Burst Mode from Savers. This is just a straight recolor, right? Just the only difference besides the color is gems, extra gems. So pretty much whatever I said about Rosemon applies to this one. So yeah, I don't think I have that much to say. I do quite like the mixture of the white, black, and pink. I think it actually is a pretty cool color scheme. But besides that, yeah, not much. Titanmon plus Skull Balukimon. Another new one. You can see that Titanmon is mounted on a saddle, like the Skull Balukimon spikes are gone. And unlike Embarmon, which was only, a size change, Skull Balukimon is a bit more changed from this. He's got the chain reins that attach to the spikes at the mouth. There's stirrups. The saddle also got stirrups. His spikes were removed to accommodate the saddle. And yeah. Oh, right, of course. Can't forget the weapon. The weapon changed. to better match Cranium ones, I suppose. He's now got a double blades. That's cool. Even if I'm not sure this is the best cavalry weapon. Same with Cranium ones, to be honest, but I quite like this fusion, but it's a bit of an awkward thing. Same with Cranium one plus Embarmon, just Mon plus Mon. It's weird. I'm not sure I quite like this naming scheme for both of them, but what can you do? Gallantmon Crimson Mode. This one debuted in the it was Tamers, right? But I forget if it was the movie or the TV show. There was a movie with Crimson Mode. Sometimes they like to show these sort of super forms ahead of the show. Like that happened with Sabers later. The movie showed Burst Mode in theaters before the Burst Mode episode aired on TV, I believe. But yeah, what can I say other than I think he looks amazing. The fusion with the Granny, which was this sort of flying platform, digital life form of sorts that Gallantmon used in the anime, is what gives this form its, well, crimson color. There's red, red, and red all over, with a nice combo with the gold and the black from the the cloth underneath, as well as some of the plates, with also adding the white of the wings and the weapons. Well, there's only one sword here. He's supposed to also have a lance, but yeah. Digital hazard sign, obviously, a trademark of the Gilmon line. This guy looks amazing. One of my favorite knights. Up there with Medieval Gallantmon, although I do have to say I quite like the red here, covering a lot of the Digimon. Amazing, looks pretty cool. This guy's amazing. Seriously. Even the crossguard of the sword has dragon wings. That's great. Cannot comment on the lance, unfortunately, because the thing isn't here and I can show it. It's a shame. The helmet shapes are pretty cool. Bellsmon Blast Mode from Tamers. He's how similar to Bellsmon? Yeah, he's similar. The only difference is wings, cannon, and green eyes instead of the red, which I guess signify he's a good guy. The cannon is fine, not very special. I'm not sure if I quite like the shape, but the wings are cool. This, anything else I have to say? Not really. Everything I said about Bellsmon mostly applies to this guy, so yeah. Belphamon Rage Mode. You should have let sleeping dogs lie, man. What have you done? Now he's woken and he's going to wreck everything with his massive bulky body. Green claws, which... Are these supposed to be his finger claws? Really? I thought those were supposed to be fake. No? I'm gonna have to check the official artwork later. He's still got the chains, which are now mostly broken. He's got massive wings. He had just a single pair now, but now he has 3 pairs, all massive. Long horns, red markings. Actually, this almost looks like metal on top of him. I'm not sure. Belts, obviously. Bandages. Some shoulder... Not shoulder... Geez, knee pads. Wait, hold on. What is this? On the... Are those supposed to be fishes on the arms there? That's weird. Also, there's claws growing in a very weird way on his shoulders, almost like they're reverse arms. Ugh, freaky and creepy, jeez. Besides, he looks pretty cool. Although I do have to wonder if his claws are really supposed to look like that. I guess they do. I think I'll do a quick search for his official artwork, just to check. I think it really is. I think those are really supposed to be his claws. Although I do believe that the green lights are extendable. Like he can extend his claws. I believe that's what he can do, but I might be wrong. I've seen him use Gift of Darkness. He does not expand claws in this game, but I do believe that's something that Belfmon can do. And sometimes Belfmon is drawn with the separate green claws as opposed to something like this. But looking at the official artwork, I don't know, man. The claws do look like the green comes out of his natural claws. I believe is what's happening. If I believe correctly, he debuted in the card game, same as the sleep mode, the old card game. Anyway, I think that's been long enough. Let's go for Vervamon. An evolution of Minervamon. She pretty much looks even more of a barbarian warrior than the original. What with the bone armor, the bone helmet as well, with some wings, draconic wings as well. The hair changed colors slightly. The sword still very similar to her previous sword, but now she has a snake arm, which can eat stuff. Weird. She debuted in Cross Wars. Right, she lost the shield in favor of the snake head. She debuted in Cross Wars, and I don't think I have much to say about her. She looks cool. She's a barbarian woman with a snake arm and still the massive blade, which because of her having grown up a bit, it doesn't look as massive anymore. But still pretty massive, if I'm gonna be honest. Still got the black and white snake markings from her shield. Well, similar to her shield. It's not the exact same, but yeah. Well, pretty cool. Also, she shows her eyes as well. Anyway, this is Lusmon Satan mode from the Digimon Frontier. Yes, that's what the S stands for. I found it a bit weird that out of the fake demon lords you fight, that he wouldn't be the last one, considering that this form is the fusion of the 7 sins. Yes, that's what those circles stand for. They stand for the sins. In fact, if you can look at the words written, you can pretty much figure out what each of the sins these are. You can see it says pride here, which is Lusmon's personal sin, which is why it's on the center. Either way, he's pretty much a dragon of the apocalypse. He's got lots of wings. His arms have wings. He's got golden claws, a nice purple color. The head looks pretty cool with the visor, the golden visor. He's got a massive black sphere that swirls. That's where the true Lusmon lives, the larva. This is just pretty much a vessel to carry on his power, I suppose. And yeah, he's got a nice tail with some claws. Pretty cool. Though, he kind of looks like he has cannons on his Jumbo Gaimon style cannons on his tail. Although this guy predates Jumbo Gaimon, so this design choice was taken over from this Lusmon to Jumbo. So, I think he looks pretty cool. I wonder if I can spot another sin. Let's see, what does that purple say? I can't... What is... it's reversed, I can't quite... Is it greed? I think it's greed. This is greed, I believe. But yeah. Either way, let's just move on. Armageddon. Jeez, I'm having difficulties. From the 4th movie, the final version of Diabromon. He's okay. He's got some thin legs. They don't look like as fibrous as the previous evolution forms. He's got some neat horns, green eyes. Still got those thin eyebrows from the evolution line that started with Salimon. He's got the tail with a stinger on it, a rather small stinger. He's got cannons at the back, and that's it. He's a guy. He's a bit creepy, but he's decent enough, I think. Yeah, don't have much to say about this one. Next is Agu Bond. He's a dragon man with a black helmet, orange, a scarf engulfed in flames, and a spear tail that can actually be used as a spear and removed from him. I do not like this design a lot because of one thing. Why is the armor, and he clearly has armor the same color as the skin? It's a bit weird. Actually, is it because... Oh my god, what is happening? No, do you see what's happening on it? He's growing the armor from his arm. Look, the armor grows from his arms. Ooh, what is this? It doesn't happen with the legs. The legs are clearly armored. You know, it's clearly something that's been fitted on top of his legs. But the armor grows with his arm. Ooh, it's like, ooh, that's weird. I do quite like the blue markings though. At least they help a bit. But otherwise, I'm not a big fan of this design. It almost feels like it should be a Frontier design, but not as good as those ones. So. Apocalypse from Digimon Adventure. He's a man on a vessel. I guess let's call this a vessel, I suppose. The vessel has a lot of pentagons, some of which grow tendrils, DNA-looking tendrils that have hands at the end. Also pentagons. And on top of the vessel is the humanoid body with wires or tubes plugged into him. The mask is pretty cool. I like the high collar, I like the cape. Unfortunately, he's too small for me to properly parse everything. Belts, I see belts. Belts on his arms. Long red nails. But yeah, I like this. Although this is another Digimon that is a bit of an Examon situation because while yes, he's small, I do believe that he's supposed to be even smaller in relation to the vessel. Let me just check the official artwork real quick. Yeah, he's supposed to be a bit smaller, I think. But again, if you make him too small in comparison with the vessel, then it's just going to be a ridiculous-looking Digimon, right? And to be honest, size differences happen all the time with Digimon, even within just a single design, right? So, probably not too much. If I'm just talking about the design properly, I think it looks pretty cool. Big bunch of shapes at the bottom that are purple and gold with the guy on top. I think it's pretty cool. Especially the DNA tendrils do help a lot as well. I like them. And finally, Gabu Bond. He's another armored guy with the blue color scheme, blue-purple. He's got what seems to be wheels at the back. Supposedly he turns into a bike. I actually have no idea about that. I didn't watch the movie. The Bond Digimon are from what? Last Evolution Kizuna. I haven't watched that, so I don't know much about these guys. He's got guns, small guns, pretty cool. The helmet's fine, but otherwise, I mean, the red looks cool, but it's just another. It feels like this is a territory that has been tried again. This feels like a second try at the Frontier style Mons. Although I do wonder, do I like this guy better than Lobomon? I think I prefer this color scheme, but the problem is that they're one big solid color with some accents, and I think it's a bit muddy together, right? It's like it feels like I'm looking at one big shape with the both of them. Oh well, I think they're okay, but they could have been so much better. Also, I think it's weird seeing these sorts of humanoids with clearly human mouths growing out of the classic Digimon. At least Agumon has a bit of a, I'd say, I guess you could say, well, there was War Greymon before, so I guess he could get away with it, but this one's a bit weird still. Either way, I believe I've dealt with everything, because after this were the Black Digimons, which I covered within their own evolutionary level, so yeah. I think I am done. So yeah. Thankfully this one's gonna be much shorter than the previous parts, but it still ended up being over half an hour, jeez. Either way, I think I'll be ending this by saying thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time. With what? I'm not sure. I'll figure that one out. But yeah. Bye.